Hello, Jeff, Africa's Last Dance, the channel where we're going to make it to the heart. We're taking a trip. We're going to take a trip from this head 1 foot south to the heart. The most noble, greatest journey anybody can ever make. We don't care about going to China or India or the Bahamas or any of those, Australia. We care not for that. We care from going the head to the heart. 1 foot. That's where we're going to travel. You got that? That's what we're going to do. Okay, here I am, flat. I've been flatlined, man, but I feel okay today. I took a swim. I feel nice swim in the sun, too. Okay, here we go. Now, don't forget the breath work I told you, out in nature, okay? If you guys do anything, do that. And because why? Because it has such a dramatic result. And things like that, when you get the result, is the things you kind of tend to do over again. That's how it's true for me. When you feel, like I'm telling you, you're going to feel after going out in nature, finding yourself a little beautiful little spot, get a little pillow for yourself, and a firm one. I got a meditation pillow, but and sit and do a round of breathing, my pranayama technique or yours, it doesn't really matter. And then meditate, okay? As you're meditating, keep breathing in those deep gulps of air as you meditate, and as you, those spaces in between, if you have a pranayama technique that kind of has spaces in between it, make sure you breathe in through the heart, those nice, beautiful, long, deep breaths. As you meditate, continue to make those big gulping sort of breaths. Take charge of that breathing. In a way, a lot of people say, just let the breath do what it wants to do. And that, so yes, that too. But in this case, take charge of it, take longer, deeper breaths. And when you're done, and you do 2 rounds, get up, shake yourself off, dust yourself up, and then one more time, pranayamic breathing, and then meditation, okay? And sit for a minute when you're done. And when you're done with that, you're in a nice space. Just take my word for it. You can at least do that. Like I say, there's a ready result there. And then you go into town, have a little coffee, see people, and you're going to be in a nice headspace. Plenty of earth in you, okay? You get the earth and and nature and the trees, and it's just a beautiful way to start a day, start a week, start the weekend, any of those things, and make sure you breathe deeply into that meditation as you do these breathing and pranayamic breathing and the meditation also. So there you go. That's a highly recommended thing, and I want you to do it. Okay, you better do it. All right. Here's one other thing I do in the morning. I come to you, by the way, on this day with an open heart and the flame of my inner sun. Okay? Okay, now what I do in the morning is I put my, almost every morning I sit, I meditate around 4:30, give or take, and I put my hands on my chest and I begin. I go, good morning, this great day. Good morning, Mother Mary. Good morning, Divine Mother. Good morning, Paramahansa Yogananda. Good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Mother Earth. Good morning, Mary Magdalene. I welcome you into my life. I welcome you into my heart space. As I work throughout this day, as I see with the heart, I hear with the heart, I speak from the heart, I walk from the heart, I listen with the heart. I treat others from this heart. I see everything from this heart, this noble heart, where all the magic lies, all the mysteries, all the majesty, all the wonder, all the beauty, all the tenderheartedness, all the loving kindness, all the humility, all the great gratitude. As I live this heart in this singular day, this one day, just by itself. And behold this new magical day. Okay, and then I go into the, and I'm going to do this, next time we'll do this again, and, because that's a way of opening the heart area, okay? Now, as you do that, and like I say, it's tricky to be talking about my spiritual practices, because most people that are in the know say don't talk about your practices, just do them, but don't be bragging about them, don't be spreading them around. You dissolve their power. Okay, it works against you if you start shooting your mouth off about it. But in this situation here, I have to give you some things that I do, and develop your own way of doing that. But that's what I am consistently doing as I begin my meditation. And then I walk, I tap my chest and I walk into my crystal temple, and I do things from there. In my temple are the 5 masters that I've become very well acquainted with. Paramahansa Yogananda, Jesus Christ, Sri Yukteswar, Lahiri Messiah, and Babaji. Okay, I am very familiar with them. You come up with other masters or other enlightened beings you're comfortable with to include in your process, because that's very, very important, that feeling that you're not doing this alone. Okay, it's a team effort, and all those I'm telling you about, Paramahansa Yogananda, Jesus, Mother Mary, Divine Mother, Mother Earth, Gaia, and Mary Magdalene, they're all kind of we're all on this journey together, and what a great addition that is as we think moving forward in this way, that we're not doing it alone. I constantly am getting more and more the impression that I have a team all around me now as I do these things, and I almost never really feel alone. I talk to them and I be with them, and I let them know if I'm mad, I let them know if I'm happy. I talk to them as I would talk to anybody. And it's important to bring that meditation, bring it into the day. Periodically look around and say, I see this with an open heart. I see this moment with an open heart. I see this moment with love. I see the power of this moment. I see the newness, the mystery of this moment. Stop as you go throughout the day, hit your chest and say that, and make it a point to take yourself off that time track of mind that we're all on, and stop the moment for a second and emanate these new ways and beings and states we are trying to bring forth here, okay? And it's a wonderful, wonderful way to start the day. Okay, so as we bring this heart open, as we bring it into the day, okay, we enliven the heart that way. And as we enliven the heart, we magnetize the heart, and then we also then begin to demagnetize the mind, which is what we're dealing with, the illusions. Now we're back to the illusions, okay? And we're still in sports a little bit. Because of the World Cup, we're going to go through that a little bit. That's what we're doing here, okay? We're magnetizing the heart, and we're taking apart these illusions that we live, and other things too. But we're first with the illusions that keeps our attention, keeps our consciousness focused in our head. Okay, we're addicted to or hypnotized by these illusions I've spoken of already. Go back and see if you'd like to see. We do that with the mind, okay? We're not tricked by illusions with the heart, okay? We're tricked by illusions with the mind, okay? Whether it's profit-taking, celebrityism, sports, in this case. Okay, so I did check out the World Cup. I know this is funny because I'm telling you that winning is another illusion. The fact is that it's all important to be the winner, and people chase winning their whole lives, and it really is not. There's almost no meaning in it. Really, we've made it up. You want to know how persistent and powerful these illusions we create are? That's a good example of it right there. We live then these illusions, and the idea of winning is very powerful, and a lot of people devote their whole lives to it, and it's more or less a waste of time. It truly is. When you over focus on it, you can have fun with it. I've had fun with it, and I'm watching the stinking World Cup, so I'm telling you this, but I still am. You know what it is? I love to see excellence. Watching people who know what they're doing on a field is a form of artwork. So I feel as though I'm watching artwork before me, and the slight tension of it, is quite interesting for me still. But I've really pared down the fact of just watching sports the way I did, the way I used to, which I never was a monster at that. There are a lot of guys that do it a lot worse than I am, but it was a distraction. It was a fun distraction, especially when you was into the illusion of it all. But once you, like I say, once you find out that it doesn't really matter who wins, the energy starts to dissipate, and I foresee myself every year, getting a little less interested, and a little less interested. Okay, World Cup sketches. Okay, a couple things as I observed this. A couple things come to the fore. Number one, in the midst of the game, they show the fans. Okay, and the fans seem as though they are more alive than ever, okay? That they're looking at this event, they're for their team, and as you look on their faces, they're animated and and they look like they're more alive than they've ever been in that one moment, and that's the draw, okay? But that aliveness is sort of illusion. I felt it before watching. I remember when I was a junior, sophomore in high school, watching a basketball game, us against our arch enemies, and it was a great game. And you get all excited, and you get this rush of energy, but it's uncomfortable in a way. But you feel like you're alive in that moment, caught up in that drama, and it's interesting in a way, but it also isn't real. Okay, it's the aliveness of a gambler. Okay, is what it is. A gambler doesn't really care about money. A gambler cares about the feeling he has when he's gambling, because he feels alive when he's gambling. Okay, now we understand that there is no life in gambling. Okay, but it's that conditionedness that gives that moment of where you're going to get the card or whatever it is, the number or whatever it is. It's the conditioning that makes you seem as though you're more alive. That's what gamblers are after. Willie, this bank robber, Willie something or other, early on in the early 1900s, made the statement: the only time in life he ever felt alive was when he was robbing a bank. You know what I mean? Now there's a lot of instances of that sort of take on things in life, and that's just one of them, and the people that are on a field or in the midst of winning or making more money, they feel as though they're more alive, but it's a fool's gold alive. It's not. It's constricted consciousness, and a lot of energy rushing through what is no more than a constricted consciousness. Really, that's what makes it feel as though you're really alive. It's the aliveness of a gambler. As I watch the fans, and I've seen it many times. I've watched the fans look that way, and they're just in the drama, totally in the drama, eyes bugged out, wanting their team to win, and they just don't know that it doesn't really matter who wins. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. And then. Some team wins and some team loses. Okay, in this case, it was the Australian and the French women were playing, and probably the French were favored. And they probably should have won that game. Like I said, when I watched the soccer game, I watched the whole World Cup. I watched maybe three games total. A lot of half games. I can't watch the whole damn thing. Soccer is kind of boring to me in a way. But I'll watch the second half, and hopefully it won't be out of sight by then. That's what bugs me about soccer. Somebody scores a goal, and it's all over. Sometimes, but sometimes not so either. Okay, so when their team, so the French team should have won, but they lost. They somehow lost to the Australians, and this is in Australia, so the fans were going nuts. And then the French, they were inconsolable. The ladies were on the ground crying because they should have won that game, and they didn't. And they were bounced out of it. They planned on going. This is the quarterfinal game, I think. Quarterfinal game. They were planning on going to the semifinals, maybe even to the finals. Who knows? But they were inconsolable. They were crying their eyes out on the field. And then they flipped. The camera flips to the fans, and all the Australian fans are going, "Yay, we won! God damn you!" So you get that. The pro and con of all in the same stadium. These women, poor women, inconsolable about that they lost that game, and then the fans screaming their heads off in jubilation. So anybody from a 5D world looking down at that would think it would be a little bit odd, because in the competitive world, there always has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. Okay, that's why in the 5D world there are no losers. That's why competition isn't going to exist in the 5D world. So you look at that scene from a higher vibrational standpoint, and it seems a little brutal. It seems, it's odd that they wouldn't stop for a second and have a little bit of empathy for the poor ladies that lost that, crying on the field. And that's the thing about competition. There has to be, if there's a winner, there has to be a loser. And that flies in this 3D reality, but it does not fly in a 5D unity-based love consciousness. Competition is essentially without love. You know what I mean? I won't say the opposite of love, but there's no love in competition. Okay, no love at all. Competition is a perfect example of conditional love. Okay, that even the fans, even me, long ago, watching an American football game, if my team that I learned from my dad, I got it imprinted, into my brain from my dad. If my team, I had a player I love, all of a sudden in the playoffs, he finds himself in the end zone. He was thrown a perfect pass to win that game, and he drops it. No one's even around him. And he drops that ball. The love for this guy that I had is pretty much dissipated. He goes, how could you guys? That whole thing. So you want to know what conditional love is? Generally speaking, it's in sports. You know what I mean? They love you as long as you're performing for them. The minute you start losing them games or lose your edge or aren't the player you used to be, they don't love you so much anymore. So it's a very conditional love. You want to know what conditional love is? Sports, competition. That's what conditional love is. That comes to the fore as I was watching those games. But like I say, it appeals to me not because of so much of winning or losing, but the artistry exhibited, because they don't know that it doesn't matter. So the artistry exhibited in those games is quite something to see. And the Spanish women, they ended up winning the whole thing. I saw the last half of the final. They were really good. They have they've got a whole program now apparently, and Americans got bounced out early. They played well though that last game. That's what I was looking for. But they got bounced. They dominated the game, but they could not score. The Australian goalie. Wait, what goalie was it? No, the Swedish goalie was they got bounced by Sweden was good, and they couldn't get the ball past them. They lacked that one killer shot to get that done. It's just interesting to observe, and that sort of thing as we watch those dramas play out, we can understand, especially when you start to develop your heart, that it isn't going to be happening in the fifth dimension. Those types of things, it's a drama. Sports and winning is a drama, and it's a drama that can be interesting, and people get really, really excited about it, and no one really knows that it really doesn't matter who wins that game on that field, in the total sense, in the cosmic sense, in the 5D unity love-based sense. It doesn't really matter who wins, but there is a lot of excellence played, and I enjoy watching it as a form of art. Really, as you enjoy looking at painting or a nice piece of music, it's physical display on that field that is artistry, really, and it's exciting. I still enjoy watching it. All it's becoming less and less and less, and I'm being honest with you right now. Okay, very, very good. Playing tennis. Look, there are things now. This is very interesting. Now there are things in this 3D world that are you can learn lessons only within the 3D illusions. Take me as a tennis player. Okay, I started playing tennis when I was about 22. I decided I was sick of swimming. I had to do something. I was bouncing around a kitchen. I needed exercise. So I took up tennis. Got to be a nice tennis player, very skilled tennis player. But early on, you hit the ball against the wall, you hit it on a court, and all of a sudden you start playing at some point, serving and playing games, sets. And inevitably, at first, I would get, you get to 5 in a set or something like that, and you kind of, you want to win, you like to win, and you start to choke, and you start to get clamped down because of the pressure. You start to, feel like it's a weight on your shoulders. It's hard to move. You can't hit your strokes that you can normally hit. You decide, oh gee, I'll just get it back easy for a couple times, get a rhythm, and then it'll take on from there. So you hit it easy, and you end up popping it long anyway. I hated that moment. I hated those killer pressure moments in that set because I couldn't play the way I normally would want to play because of the pressure of having to win, the illusion of having to win. So one day I thought to myself, well, Jeff, no. I stopped myself. I said, Jeff, no. Why do you hate this? Okay, this is what you play for. This is what you practice for. These moments of pressure, this is what it's all about. And why do you hate it? So at that point I said, all right, I'm going to love it. I'm going to train myself to love that moment, to love that pressure, to love that chance to prove myself when it counted, okay? And so I began to turn that around. I just said, I'm not going to be nervous. I'm going to play my game. What is most important to me, what became most important to me more than winning, now this is true, more than winning was in those pressure-packed moments when I was playing somebody even better than me. I usually chose guys that were better than me because it was exciting. I mean, you're focused and all your troubles are gone and you're focused on that court and it's exciting. Those moments are very only available to a 3D illusion reality. You know what I mean? I've worked through that then. I worked through that troubled, hating those moments to begin to love them and say, this is what I'm waiting for. This is what I want. And I learned to love those pressure-packed moments. And I took it from there, okay? And it was more important to me that I played my game, okay? That I had an aggressive tennis style, and I felt that if I played my game and I didn't lose the match, that I hit my strokes the way I wanted to hit them. Like I say, tennis for me was an art form, a physical art form. I was like a dance out there. I was graceful, very, very good at it. And as long as I played my game, as long as I didn't choke or I didn't get wavered in the pressure of it all, I didn't care whether I lost or won. Okay, I really didn't. I won if I played out, if I played my game, and I happened to lose, well, I happened to lose. But going home, it was satisfaction knowing that I hit my game, and I wasn't intimidated by the moment. Okay, that's what it is, not intimidated by the moment. Now, that lesson is only available to the 3D reality. That pushing through that exposed a bit of a weakness in me, in a character, in a certain sense. And I overcame it because of the illusion of winning in pressure. Okay, what I mean, that won't be really available in that way. Overcoming things in that way won't be available in the 5D reality, love-based unity consciousness, because there's not going to be that sense of competition. So that's what is valuable about the 3D reality, is that you can use these illusions and work through the pressure of these illusions and learn how to overcome and build a bit of self-esteem, build a little bit of confidence as you determine yourself to overcome those pressure-packed moments and relax, fall back and relax into it and play your game. Okay, so that's the interesting thing to bring up, that there are certain lessons here in this 3D world that you're probably going to have to learn in another way in the 5D world. And there are probably ways of overcoming your flaws or your weaknesses or things that you want to be better, but it's going to be a different game, a different way of doing it. But that's the value then of this 3D world in a way, is learning how to work through these types of things and all the heavy duty things that hit us in this 3D world. It's not going to be quite as valuable, or we're not going to learn things in that way in 5D, but we can do it in 3D. Okay, so that's kind of the interesting little point to make. Very, very quickly, I'm running out of time here. Women in sports. Now, I just told you I enjoy watching women. I watch women tennis. I don't really watch a lot of women's sports. Basketball, they play rugby now, for Christ's sakes. And here's my problem with women in sports. I think it's good that they play sports, and I say, fine, you don't like sports. But what this world needs right now is more yin energy, okay? Competition, sports, is yang energy. So we have all these women who have been liberated, okay, and they think that they want to do the yang activity. Now we can do what guys do, and it's yang energy. I've been around top level collegiate women athletes, and they're yang. You know what I mean? They're not quite the ebullient butterfly, wonderful female energies. They're yang, and so when this earth needs more yin energy to balance out the yang, we have all our women, playing sports in America especially, which is yang activity, okay? And so we have more yang energy coming out of our women, and we don't really want that. We don't need that. We want women. They think that they're adopting what motivates men to motivate them and become like men. Really, when the preciousness and the qualities of yin energy, which are more subtle in nature, don't dawn on them. So they're not really playing to their strengths in a way. Yin energy activities are a lot different than yang energy activities, and so the slight trial about all this is that when we need women to be women, the soft, sweet yin energies, thoughtful and careful and loving and helping men with their too much yang energy, helping coach them a little bit with this more attractive, very beautiful, subtle yin energies. That's what we need, okay? So that's my contention with women in sports, okay, is because they're indulging in yang activities when they become liberated, and it's not what we want right now on Earth. We want more yin energies. We need to balance out yin and yang is simply too strong right now with all the things going on, and it has been for quite some time. So as women get liberated, we want to see them more into their feminine yin self, not the yang stuff that they're doing now here in America. And although, I think that within reason, like I say, winning in certain instances is a wonderful feeling sometimes, especially if it has other components, like I was telling you about my water polo experience. And everybody should be able to experience that feeling, and it's a nice feeling. But it's that problem we have to deal with. You know what I mean? It's not what we really want right now out of our women. Kicking each other's in the butt. On a field of battle. It's not really, generally speaking, what we want or need more of. Okay, we have it enough, and like I say, it's a big fat illusion. Anyway, but like I say, you can have fun with it though. So that's what is. I'm going to call it right now because I'm going to pop. This thing's going to pop off. That's my take on this World Cup and generally speaking, women in sports in general. It's an interesting confluence of different ingredients, and we have to work through it. And it can be fun. You can have fun with it, but there are much more important things to be doing right now than that. Okay, I have to go because it's going to pop done. I'm Jeff Africa, citizen of Earth. I'll do the funny joke next time. Citizen of Earth, patriot of the United States of America, and I stand unafraid. And these four, Paramahansa Yogananda, Jesus Christ, Divine Mother, and Mother Earth, are the 4 that I've chosen to get me to this new heart consciousness. I'm going to do it right in front of you. I'm going to change my consciousness from a head consciousness, head, mind-oriented, ego consciousness, to a loving, heart-centered consciousness, and you're going to see the difference when I do it. Okay, and that's what this is all about. That's what we're after here, and that's what we're going to get done. Trust me, I'm going to do it right in front of you. I hope you like the video, and I'll be seeing you again soon. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. But okay, it's been nice. Been nice to see you. I'm up and running again. If sometimes I fall into these things where I have no energy, I'm listless, but it's all because I'm absorbing a lot of energies right now. My body needs time to assimilate because I'm all over this as far as absorbing these energies, and that's why I'm swimming in the pool at 1 o'clock as I'm absorbing.